Welcome to the Athletic Football Show Picks segment. For those of you who are not familiar and are new watchers on YouTube and do not listen to the podcast, I don't know which sort of people those would be. We do this every single Friday. Sheil joins us. Nate is doing the rest of the show with me, but we like to take a little bit of time to step back, give you guys some picks that we definitely do not feel good about. Sheil, you can't be feeling pretty good right now because your lead that you had maintained throughout the season in the little head-to-head battle that you were doing with Nate has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and is now 1 point as we head into week 14 here.
Oh my gosh, is it only one? I didn't realize that until you just told me.
24 and a half to 23 and a half.
I felt good about last week. You know, I got my lock. I went 2-1, but I ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, I'm like Sean McDermott after that Monday night game. You know, we had opportunities.
Don't give Nate too much credit.
I was going to give you too much credit.
Yeah. But Nate went 3-0, got his lock correct. And so as usual, I'm very mentally fragile. You know, Marissa asked for my picks before the segment. I couldn't give them to her because I'm looking at all of them here on my screen. I don't know what I'm going to go with, but it will be a fun finish here with, what do we have, 5 more weeks left? What week is this?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea how many weeks are in the 2021 NFL
5 more
season.
Weeks left.
Yeah.
Now I'm at the point where
third.
I look at Nate's Twitter on, before the show, and I'm like, oh, he's tweeting about Jerry Jeudy. Is he going to be, is he going with the Lion? Why is he watching Broncos film right now? So I'm trying to take something, even his board game tweets. I'm trying to take something from him. Can I get any inside information to give myself an advantage? But I don't know that that's going to work.
Where was that game produced at? Oh, it was produced in Colorado. So does he like the Broncos this week? Yeah, exactly. I love that.
All you should know is the amount of time he's spending on those board games is time that he is not spending thinking about football, which could be good or bad for you. If he's spending more time and talking himself in circles, maybe that's actually a good thing for you. Nate, you went 3-0 last week. You hit your lock with the Bucs at -10.5. You had the Chiefs at -9.5 against the Broncos. That one probably made you sweat a little bit more than you would have liked. It's a tight game, even though if it was never in doubt, it was still a lot closer than you might like. And then the Rams blow out the Jags. So you have slowly started to gain some ground here. And because of that, you're going to kick us off. You get to give us your pick, your first one for week 14. Lay it on me, buddy.
Chip away. Yeah. And actually the rule change for the lukewarm lock, I actually was like, okay, of course we do it where the losing team points, we're going to triple and donate to charity. And of course mine was the Bucks. And that was like a barn burner in the first half. And I was like, oh, so I'm going to be donating about $120. Can't wait.
It's for a good cause. That's why
we're doing it. It's a good cause.
Exactly. It works out.
Yes. Which I meant to mention. I made my donation this morning to the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Fund because I picked the Steelers against the Bengals. I felt like I should be giving it to the Bengals. I mean, they did the work. The Steelers. Why am I donating to them? Joe Burrow, Hunger Relief Fund. Look, that's it. That is my cause, my cleats. So I'm sure there will be many more donations in the weeks ahead. So players, if you're listening, go ahead and tell me what your charity is, and I'm sure I'll be donating to you soon.
For those of you who don't know, every week we have one game that you can designate your lukewarm lock of the week. It's 3 points instead of 1. If you get it wrong, you get -1 point, and you have to endure a punishment early in the season. There were some embarrassing things that happened that included costumes, various Dan Campbell coffee orders. But since it is the season of giving, now the punishments are restricted to a charitable give to some organization associated with the team that you lost to, the team that made you lose. So that's a convoluted way of saying we're trying to do good things here as we get toward the Christmas holiday and the end of the year. All right, Nate, lay it on me, buddy. What's your first one?
Well, I'll just guess. I'll get start us hot with a lukewarm lock right off the bat. Maybe. I'm going to go with the Saints -5.5 at the Jets, and so I'm going to be looking in some New York charities for the next week just to make sure. But I think this game, watching that Cowboys Saints game, and really even the Saints Bills game before that. I know it's a Thanksgiving short week. This Saints defense is rugged. They are full of, I said on Twitter, they're full of ass kickers. I mean, they really are. And they're that's why they can do what they do up front and being 4 down. And that brings, just a couple pressure stuff on 3rd down. And that's actually one of the reasons. I mean, this Jets team is not good. This is not their year. 2021. My dark horse pick for coach of the year, Robert Saleh, is so it's this season with the Jets, it's just, this is not their year. They're just trying to get through the season. Let's just get some confidence with Zach Wilson right now. It's not a great defense to build confidence against. And so I think this Saints defense is just going to take it to them. Kamara's coming back for the Saints offense. I know they've been banged up all over. They have no receivers, but this Jets defense hasn't been great. I mean, it doesn't matter who they go against. It's been Swiss cheese a lot of this season again. So just really not their season. I think they're going to just try and get through the holiday season with staying healthy and maybe just, feel good about themselves. Maybe try and throw some gadget plays and stuff. And I think the Saints will blow that up. I'm going to go with the Saints -5.5. And that's my lukewarm lock. So I'll be looking at New York charities this weekend.
Yeah, I actually had this one written down, but so basically I have two that I'm settled on, to go through my process here, which everyone must be interested in. I have two written down that I'm going with, and then my final pick, I have it narrowed down to 5 games, and this was one that I had. But since you're going with it, yeah, listen, I'm a disaster. There's no doubt about it. But since you made it your lukewarm lock, like there's not a lot of upside there for me. So I'm going to stay away from that one. I was with you. This would just be a pick against the Jets. It's like Sean Payton against the worst defense in the NFL. That is a nice matchup. Now, I had some jokes when I was wondering, do I really want to make that my pick? Like anytime you can go with Taysom Hill with mallet finger in the rain, given 5.5, you got to do it.
But that's my question here.
Lost what, 5 in a row? 6 in a row?
Are you worried?
A little nervous.
The points here, Nate. I mean, are you worried about the Saints offense being able to score 5.5 points? I understand their defense is pretty good right now, but that's why I think it'd be hard to bet on the Saints, just because even if they're getting Kamara back, their offense has been so banged up and so underwhelming lately.
And it's just, I just don't think the Jets defense can take advantage of that. Like, it's like if it was a little more feisty, and that's honestly how Sheil put it. It's like more I'm betting against the Jets and more betting on the competency of the Saints staff and all that. And Saints still have stuff to play for. Like it's like even like we don't consider them a contender or anything like that. They're still in the playoff hunt, and so they're going to still be feisty and still trying to do some stuff. So that's really what I'm betting on. And also even if I lose this bet, probably the Big Ben rule will be in effect, where we have to do a 20 point minimum, because it might be a 13-10 brouhaha, but when it's all said and done in New York or Meadowlands.
Among the 25 games that you're picking from here, what'd you land on for your first one?
All right. Well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and give my lukewarm lock of the week. I'm going to Sunday night, the Green Bay Packers. This is usually, Nate's move. Nate likes the big favorites. I'm going to go with the big favorite here. Packers -12.5. It's a big number. Makes me a little bit nervous, but going up against the Chicago Bears. So many fun storylines in this one. Aaron Rodgers, I thought Aaron Rodgers the last 2 weeks before their bye, like I thought that's the best he's looked all season. Now you get national TV. You want to, we know Aaron Rodgers pays attention. You want to make a little MVP case. This is a great time to go ahead and do that. You're at Lambeau. You're in great position in the NFC. Packers at home under Matt LaFleur, 15-6 against the spread. And so, like, all the Matt LaFleur and Rodgers numbers are crazy. I feel like we don't talk about they're like winning. It's crazy how they just keep doing it week after week after week. And so I think that's a game where even if it's, a 7-point game in the fourth quarter, maybe Rodgers can throw one more touchdown and get me the cover there. The other interesting storyline here is like America needs this to be a blowout with I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but Succession finale Sunday night. I know you guys have to do the show. I don't know if you watch it after you do the show or not, but like for me, I got to avoid those spoilers. I don't have to write for Monday. I write for Tuesday. So I need to be able to check out of this game a little bit, make it a blowout. I don't want something coming across my Twitter timeline telling me what happened in the finale, and then all of a sudden Succession is ruined for me. So if Aaron Rodgers, if you can come through here, I don't have an MVP vote. I do have a little bit of a platform. Your odds will go up quite a bit if you can allow me to watch Succession Sunday night and just kind of blow the Bears out here.
It depends on how tired I am and what kind of mood I'm in. Because there are some moments where I'll watch it at like 1 a.m., which can get weird. I mean, that's a show where you're watching it a little bit half asleep at 1 a.m. It can get really strange.
Especially with the music.
Yes. There's just a lot happening there. And last week, I mean, there was a lot of pretty intense family dynamics at 1 a.m. going on. So speaking of family dynamics, the Bears are playing in primetime in this game. watching the Bears this season in prime time, do you guys have a family member that you worry about at like gatherings, or when you bring them in public, you get a little bit concerned about what they're going to do and like, don't embarrass me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the Bears right now. They are the member of my family that when they're in any sort of visible place, I'm like, don't you fucking embarrass me right now. All I have to do is be cool for like 2 hours. Okay. This is not going to be hard. And that's where I am with this team right now. I just don't want them to embarrass me in front of the nation.
Yeah. Keep your shit together.
Yeah. I need them to get those 3 points. So
just gritted teeth the whole time. Hey, Justin Fields is playing. That'll be fun.
That's all. At least that's happening. I mean, it's all I got.
Can't wait for those narratives. Yeah, can't wait for everything that comes out of that. Hey, Jair Alexander's coming back, I believe. I think this week, or maybe
that I'm less interested in. I don't know. It's a fun football level. I'm interested in that.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Nate, what's your second one here, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I like Sheil's angle there, talking about Aaron Rodgers being a Sunday Night Football. Pat McAfee's going to get a cut of that money, so I'm sure he's excited for the Sunday night game. But I'm going to go with a different divisional tilt. This is the exact same spread as last week. It's a different AFC West game opponent they're going against, but I'm going to go Chiefs -9.5 hosting the Raiders. I don't think this Raiders team is really, they're trying to get through the season. I'm going to use this line a lot. I was at that game in Washington. They just have no dynamic ability. I know Darren Waller was out, but it's not really, this Chiefs defense is playing well. We're going to talk about it, Robert. We talked about it. It's like they are playing very well right now. They're playing sound football. The one thing that you can really get them out or really get after this Chiefs defense right now is getting into heavy personnel and running the ball. The Raiders like to be in heavy personnel, but they can't run the ball out of it. Like it's a weird, jarring kind of thing. They got
nowhere to go at this point.
They got nowhere to go.
There are no buttons left to press.
Exactly. And this Raiders defense is not great. They got a couple nice pass rushers on the outside, but other than that, it's very holy. HOLEY, I believe is a better way to put it. A lot of holes in that defense. I think this Chiefs offense has been frustrating. But this is not the defense that's really going to take it to them. Maybe Gus Bradley is not going to run the single high stuff, but that's, now you're putting guys in positions they're not comfortable with that they want to run too high. So I think
it's really the last time we saw this Chiefs offense be really explosive.
Yes.
Was the last time they played the Raiders. So when you think about the way their defense is playing and the fact that the Raiders are the best matchup for them, it's like the one defense structurally that is just not set up to take advantage of the way that the Chiefs are playing right now. It's a really bad situation. I mean, they beat it by 27 points in the middle of November, and the Raiders were healthier and playing better at that point.
Correct. And had a lot more heart and everything. It's just been a long season for them. I mean, I understand that's the human element of playing 18 weeks or 17 games, 18 weeks. It's long. And if things aren't going right, they really can, domino effect in a negative way. So I'm taking on a team on the upswing against a team on the downswing, and Chiefs -9.5, and it's at home, which I really do think matters because that's a tough statement to play.
Yeah, that one makes total sense to me. I feel like this, again, teams just headed in different directions, and I think that this is a good moment to take advantage of that. Sheil, what you got for me, buddy?
That was another one of my maybes, Nate. So I
we're on your maybe list. I'm not sure you need to let us know that anymore.
Well, I guess it could have been. I could have been on the Raiders, but no, I like the Chiefs there. Like you guys said, I like to just look at. I separate every game and say which are like 75th percentile offensive performances, just kind of defining those as great. That's the only one the Chiefs have had in the last 8 weeks.
Wow.
So that offense just has not been the same, but again, it was against the Raiders. And so it's, that is not a scheme that's really changing on a week to week basis. So I do like the Chiefs there, but I'm not going to go with that as my pick. All right. The other one I had written down here, this is sort of like your Saints Jets one. I'm looking for a team that I don't believe in at all and going against them. And it's one you went against last week, and that's the Jaguars. Just a complete disaster right now. Titans are -9 at home against Jacksonville. Again, the Jaguars are just a complete mess. I mean, no signs of improvement that I see from that team throughout the season. The Titans coming off the bye. I know the Titans haven't been great. There's no doubt about it. They've been stung by injuries. They're still 8-4. They have the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. So there's this weird scenario where if the Titans just take care of business against some of these terrible teams, and then you get healthy, in whatever, week 18 or the first round of the playoffs, or who knows, maybe you luck into a bye and all of a sudden you're hosting a game in the divisional round and you have AJ Brown and Derrick Henry and Julio Jones. So it's like, I feel like the Titans have sort of been a forgotten team, and I know they haven't been as good as their record indicates. And again, they're not a great team right now, but they're kind of like lurking sort of in the background in the AFC. And so Mike Vrabel, I feel like this is a coaching mismatch with the way he's able to find edges on a weekly basis and the way that Jaguars team has played, just getting blown out week in and week out. And so I'm a little bit nervous about it. It's a big number, -9 for a team that lost to the Texans a couple weeks ago. But I think, as we've said time and time again, like, it feels good to be on the side against the Jaguars this year. And so maybe this is just to make myself feel good. If they have a special teams turnover or something and it's a fluky loss, I can live with that. But I feel good about going against the Jaguars here.
That seems like a really big number for a team whose number one receiver is a Hollister whose first name I can't remember.
Well, Julio, I think, did practice on Wednesday, so I'm counting on him at least. I don't know if he's going to play
getting 24
50%
targets,
of the snaps or what, but yeah, just feed that man. Get Julio the ball here, please.
Do we know what that Hollister's first name is?
No, but I saw him on the fantasy waiver wire, and I was like, "Who is that again?" I was like,
"Oh
yeah,
Jacob," and it's not Jacob.
That's his brother, I think.
Yeah,
I think his brother is Jacob Hollister. He's the receiver, and Jacob's the tight end. And then Westbrook Akina, whose first name I still can't remember because I'm still in my mind. His name is Westbrook Akina, which is not right. And
my mind went to Russell, which again, that is incorrect. So yeah, Russell is not Russell Westbrook Akina, although that would be pretty fun if it was.
Westbrook Akina is just a great name. I think that's why I keep attaching myself to it. If he was just named Westbrook, I know that's not how it works, but that's just Westbrook a great Akina, name.
He sounds like a 5-star recruit to Kentucky. Like, it's like, okay, Westbrook Akina, yeah, OJ Mayo, yeah, those are some top tier basketball recruits.
I would put him on the red zone all-stars. Like, whenever they flash to a game, and you're like, every week I'm sitting here and they're flashing to Westbrook Akina making a big play, and then you're looking up his numbers and you're like, oh, he wasn't that productive, but I don't know. Every time Scott Hansen's yelling his name every week, so there must be something good happening there.
You've seen every Westbrook Akina catch this year. You've seen every single one, not on purpose, but you've seen it. All right, Nate, what's your third one, buddy?
The last one is, again, another team getting healthier. It's a weird team right now, and we're very high on them anyways, but I'm going to go Cowboys -4.5 at Washington. I think some of that little fairy dust of the Washington offense.
Imagine this line 6 weeks ago.
Right? That's exactly what I'm trying to get back to. At the beginning of the year, like Sheil and I have talked about when we do this segment, we're like, hey, let's go back to like our gut instinct. It's like, that's kind of like, hey, what we originally thought.
It's never led you astray before.
Never, ever.
Working out great. Let me tell you.
You see my betting in the first half of the season? Yeah, it really worked out great. But honestly, this Cowboys team is, the like struggles of the offense, I guess it would be a way to put it, is not struggles. It's just drops. Like, honestly, it's just a guy tripping when he's pulling. It's a guy dropping a 3rd and 3 throw. It's like just fluky stuff like happening. It keeps happening a little bit, but it's like, man, they're still doing the good stuff. I watched that Saints game expecting to be more disappointed. And I'm just like, God, I love Dak. Every time I watch it, that's why I just watch that offense. I'm like, this is so much fun. Like, just seeing CeeDee Lamb running benders and overs. And now Amari Cooper's back to, it sounds like 100%. They said, oh yeah, he's full go, baby. He's going to get, full. And having that really helps. And but the experience that these other receivers have gotten has helped them out in a way too. But now they don't need those targets. They're like, instead of Cedric Wilson getting a third down or Noah Brown getting a third down target, it's Amari Cooper and Gallup. It's the tight ends. It's like, oh my God, yeah, here comes the weapons. Pollard got banged up. He has his foot on the touchdown, got hurt. But Zeke is still playing well. He's a little hurt too, but that's the thing. They can pivot however they want to pivot, depending on what the defense does.
Do you feel like Zeke is too hurt to be effective as a runner? Even with all the other quiet things he gives to them, do you think that the amount of work he's getting in his current physical state is a detriment to their offense?
They outside runs, yes. I would say they have to take away. You're not running outside zone with Zeke. I'll put it that way. But anything in between tackles, I'm fine because he'll get those 4, 5, 6 gritty yards, and I'm fine with that. And that's what this offense kind of is. It's kind of like how Fournette is with the Bucs offense. He's played better, but it's like he's limited in some ways, but he's going to get he's going to hit those singles and doubles that you need when you run the ball with him. And I think that's what they need right now. It's just this offense is so much fun to watch at times because it's just so well executed. But now it's like, oh, these other guys are coming back. And so it's going to get that little bump. I'm be honest, the Washington defense has improved, has played better. They are still static in ways. They are still, telegraph the pressures and everything. And this is an offense that can take advantage of that, especially the O-lines has a couple bumps, but I'm talking about the Cowboys offense, but they're still playing well, and Dak's still getting them straight, and they're going to get cleaned up, especially with Tyron Smith kind of getting a little healthier. I could tell he's had some mental bust in the last couple of weeks, but it's like he's still on the upswing. So, and I think they're getting Randy Gregory possibly back. They just got DeMarcus Lawrence back. It's like, man, this is a good ass team. So I'm betting on a Cowboys team that maybe the line is not indicative of where they're actually at. I think this should be more of a -6, -7 line, because it's a very, very good football team.
The fact that their defense has been able to carry them a little bit, not carry them, but lift them a little bit as their offense has stumbled, that's really impressive. I mean, that's what you see from really, really good teams. And even if it doesn't look like the formula we might have expected for why they would be elite, especially early in the season when the offense was rolling, when you look at it just overall, they're pretty much as complete as anybody right now. Because there just aren't those two teams that have anything clicking on both sides of the ball. Maybe the Bucs, arguably. But even their defense has been a little bit uneven. So just a strange Cowboys team, not in a bad way, in a way I just never expected them to be.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing too, is the Saints game, they covered. Like, it was like, everyone's like, man, the Cowboys weren't great. It's because we expect them, because they're so good. We expect them to blow people out of the water. No one's blowing anybody up this year. It's just like, it's not that type of year. It's not the Chiefs of 2 seasons ago. It's not these type of offenses. It's more about being efficient, ability to pivot. It's like, hey, you're taking away inside runs. We can get to outside runs. We can throw the ball. Hey, you're playing soft coverages. Okay, we're going to run the ball and throw a quick game. Like, they can just twist the knob however they want to. That's what I love this team. And then, like you just said, like the defense, when the offense isn't fully clicking, defense is like, hey, we got it. We're going to hold them under 20. Just get to 21 and we got you. And it's like, that's a good team. And it's funny. It's like, even I got a little down on them the last couple of weeks. I watched them again. I'm like, yeah, I feel better about this team than I did maybe a week ago.
All right, Sheil, let's finish this out here. What do you got for me?
Yeah, Nate, this isn't a good sign for you that all 3 of your picks I have in my column, I am on the same side. This Cowboys team is like such a good reminder of how long the season is, because for 6-7 weeks, I'm thinking Super Bowl contender. Then you're going, all right, they don't look right. But if any team is positioned to like get hot down the stretch, every game against the NFC East, they're getting healthy. I mean, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence now, I mean, that's going to be like any opposing offense on Tuesday or whatever it is. It's like, all right, how are we going to account for those two guys?
Chip.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not even talking about their offense. So you can explain away some of their issues, I think, with health and some of the things you mentioned, and they could get hot here. All right, so I'm not going to go with that one. I'm down to 2 here. I did this last week, so I'll just get last week. If you remember, I picked the Eagles and I made that my lock. And the one I was deciding between was that or the Vikings. So I made the right call. So let me go through my process here again. I'm deciding between Bills, Tampa, or Lions, Broncos. The Lions are 10-point dogs at Denver. That Denver team, a 10-point favorite. But you know what? I think Bills, Tampa is more fun. I feel like I've planted my flag on this Bills team. I still believe in them. I'm not giving up on them. +3.5 at Tampa. It does not feel good to go against Tom Brady and that Bucs team, but I'm going to go ahead and do it and take the points with the Bills. I think everyone's down on this Bills team after Monday night, which I just viewed as like a coin flip game. I didn't think that was a game where they got totally outplayed. It was weird. Everything was weird about it. I think if you play that same game 10 times with Belichick, same approach, people will disagree with me. I think the Bills, win at least half of those games. I
think that's exactly right.
So I'm
think about how many just inches away from one catch here, one catch there. Right. I understand the conditions are not in your favor to throw the ball, but that's one thing where a couple different breaks and that game goes way differently. And the entire narrative and how we talk about it completely shifts.
Yep. And it's happened. The Bills are 1-4 in these one possession games. That game, the Titans game, and so I still believe in them. They're relatively healthy. Now, the two things that make me very nervous about this game, one is Tre'Davious White's injury. It was not a factor on Monday night, but now you're going up
that one pass though, they really could have used him on the field.
Now you're going up against Tom Brady. Like this Bills defense, it's going to take a step back. It's a matter of how big of a step back is it. It could be really significant, and it could show up in a big way on Sunday. So that makes me nervous. And number two, our great Bills beat writer, Joe Biscaglia, was writing about this week, about this potential disconnect with Sean McDermott and Brian Daboll. I mean, is McDermott going to overreact to that loss? Is he going to say, I don't like getting pushed around. I don't like getting out physicaled. I don't like what people are saying about us this week. We better be, running the ball and playing a different brand, because this is not the week to do that. Your run game is not good. Your running backs are not good. The Bucs defense is very good. Like if they're wasting plays, handing the ball to Devin Singletary on 1st and 2nd down, and I'm sitting over here going, I can't believe I picked the Bills plus 3.5. Like that is a scenario I could see playing out. So that makes me nervous. But at the same time, I feel like if I'm in week 14 and I have a team that I feel like can contend for a Super Bowl, which I still believe with the Bills, and they're getting over a field goal, I'm going to go ahead and this is like I don't know if it's like a DNA game or what, but like backs against the wall, whatever cliche you want to use. But like this is a big spot for them. I mean, if they lose this game, and as intense as McDermott is, and like if they lose this game after losing last week, I don't know what direction they kind of go in, but I think they're going to respond well. I think they're going to be able to put up points against a Bucs defense that is good, but I wouldn't say great. And they're going to be able to pass the ball on them. So I'm looking forward to this game. I can't wait to watch it. We'll see if it's over by halftime. And I'm wondering, what was I thinking? That is also possible.
This may seem like a strange question, but does 3.5 seem low to you? Like wouldn't that indicate that these teams are kind of close to even?
Kind of close, yeah.
And just based on the way that the Bucs have played, and again, just kind of the national stink that the Bills seem to have on them right now, or seemingly would have on them, that seems pretty tight to me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you just look at DVOA,
I don't think it's wrong.
Right?
It jumped out to me. I was like, 3.5. I thought
it almost reflects the advanced stat stuff, right? I mean, DVOA, I think they're 1-3 point differential. Like if you're looking at those things, you're saying they are relatively evenly matched. It was 3 when I first sat down to write yesterday. It's moved up to 3.5, so that probably pushed me to taking it on the show where I can get that extra half point. I'm a sucker for that every time. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely make that case that maybe the betting market, the publics, aren't overreacting to what we saw Monday night.
I can't wait to hear those yells when the Bills every time they have a tight end out there, 2 tight ends or a fullback out there. I'm just gonna hear Sheil screaming, "No, pass the ball!" Like just no eye formation, no hip formation, no, spread it out and chuck it. Yeah, I know.
Listen, if Daboll needs to have a little disconnect to McDermott in the headset and later say it was some type of technical malfunction, like do what you need to do to win the game.
On the Bose headphones.
Yeah. What is it? Like, don't apologize for permission. Like, or no, don't. Yeah. Just apologize.
Don't ask for permission. Yeah. Apologize. All right. We're both screwing this up, but everybody hopefully knows what we mean.
That's a good way to end the show with that metaphor. I've never messed up a metaphor and idiom in my entire life. This is the first time ever.
I think I screwed up Icicle's chance in hell earlier this week. And considering the outfit I'm wearing right now, I shouldn't be misusing Icicle idioms, but that's all we got. All right, guys, this is always fun. Always great to dig into this stuff with you. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. We'll be bringing this to you on YouTube every single week. For those of you listening on the podcast, that is not applicable to you. So thank you guys very much. We'll talk to you soon.